about the Messi thing?
Anything else on the Messi front, Chris, before we move on?
No, I'm done. I'm
falling out. I told you, I never want to bring this guy's name up again.
I don't know, man. This Messi thing is just a freaking mess. What a disaster.
I don't want to hear this name ever again until it's official. But they got me back.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode Triple Sticks 111. I am your host, Daniel Granada. Alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
Make a wish, bitch. It's 111, right? I mean, that's what all the cool kids
today.
do. We're celebrating
today.
It's the last game at home.
That's it. This long, weird season is over. So,
Yes.
I mean, I guess technically we still have one game, and we had big news about that game, right? Also, but I guess we'll touch on today's game before we get into that. Game is in the books. Didn't mean anything to us. You said you wanted to see Tata show some stuff. What did you think about today's game?
I thought the players played well.
Okay.
And Tata still, whatever. I mean, I guess he did okay, right? I mean, what exactly did he do? I think the players showed out more than we'd seen in the last couple games. You don't think so? Like you don't see that they showed a little bit. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just like, armchair quarterbacking here, but like it seemed like they were like gunning for, like pushing, just putting a lot of intensity behind their play and putting a lot of pressure on the players.
Well, I did think, yeah, I see what you're saying. And especially Gregory, right? Gregory played 2 games at the beginning of the season, got injured the 3rd game in New York and against NYCFC. And today you could tell he's been itching to play for the last 6-7 months. He was running like a gazelle out there. He was all over the place. You could tell how happy he was to be out there. It sucks that he had to wait till right before the season ended, but him definitely, you could tell he was happy to be out there.
And I mean, Gregory doing Gregory things already got a yellow card. Like, I mean, it's status quo with this guy.
Man, but I love that. That's what I love about him.
Yes.
He led. They were talking about how he led, and I knew this already. He led the league in fouls.
Yes.
He led the league in yellow cards last year. And something that they didn't mention, he led the league in interceptions per minute, right? Per game. So per game, he had more interceptions than anybody else last season also. So he is the number 6 that we want. He is the number 6 that we need. And he is our number 6 for the next 3 years, was it? With the contract?
And on top, I mean, one thing I got to mention, which I wrote in my notes, I'm super happy that the announcers actually went over the fact that, hey, before Messi, Gregory and Mota went down, and that's kind of like why we're in the shitter, because some of our main pieces went down, and it's good to inform all the new viewers, like, hey, there was other players other than of course, I'm not saying Messi sucks or anything. I love Messi, but there were other players that existed in pink jerseys before that guy with the number 10 that we have now.
You know what's funny? I was getting on Twitter throughout the game, and I randomly noticed that there were a lot of people, because we built a few relationships with some people and from other teams, right? Because we've had them on the show and stuff. A lot of people tweeting about this game, and then I realized that I forgot this is the only game on right now. And I was like, why are these Red Bull fans? Like, I mean, I guess also it has playoff implications here and there for some people, but I was like, it's really weird, because they would be talking about like, hey, that was a penalty. That wasn't a penalty. I was like, why the hell are they talking about the Inter Miami game? So that was really cool. Also, a lot of people watching this that usually wouldn't watch Inter Miami play. And, and they were definitely busting their ass today.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see. I mean, like I told you, even though we're not playing for anything, it was exciting to watch them play. I mean, look, on a random Wednesday game, we got 2 goals against, 2 goals for, walked away, with a tie, and, it is what it is, I guess.
So today, let's talk about the game, and then obviously Saturday with Messi announcing that he's going to play on Saturday.
Oh, God.
But before we talk about today's game, do you want to talk about the whole people making a big deal because people aren't going to the stadium today and all that other stuff? Do you want to chime in on that, or do we go straight into the game?
I mean, sure. Do you have any thoughts on
I didn't go to the game. Usually we would be getting on an hour after the game because we'd have to drive an hour south, and going to the game on a weekday during rush hour, it usually takes me about an hour and a half to get there.
Yeah.
Now, I usually do it. It's not a problem. I enjoy doing it. But when it's a Wednesday, last game of the season, and the game means absolutely nothing, I mean, I'm not doing that hour and a half on a Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And again, I don't know why they pushed it back to 8 o'clock. I'm not doing that just cause. Like people forget, it's gas, it's time, parking isn't free. So yeah, I'm not doing that today. If today would have at all mattered, and we would have had even the slightest chance, right? Like there has to be like 37 different scenarios that go right for us to make the playoffs, but there's still a 0.01 chance. I'm going. But that's it. The season's over. So I'm not making that long ass drive for something that doesn't matter. So that's how I felt about it.
And Mr. Krabs is chiming in. He don't blame you for not going on a weekday for a nothing game. I mean, look, I for certain reasons I didn't go to the game. I wasn't going to be able to make it. But typically on a Wednesday game, there are a lot of people that don't make it, especially people that live far. So it's understandable for people to not always make the Wednesday games.
Yeah.
And not only that, but there's nothing that really matters in terms of like implications or us advancing into the playoff, table or whatnot. So if you don't go on a random Wednesday where a game doesn't count, I'm not gonna blame you too much. I mean, I get it. It's good to go to the games, but if you don't go, it is what it is. I mean,
well, our guy Solana brought it up on Twitter, and he said that he was wondering why people that were complaining about the ticket prices would now have tickets to go to this game and then not show up. I think it's different.
It's not even about the price if you really think about it, because it's all the other things. It's the commute, it's the traffic, it's the gas. I mean, Sean Callahan's mentioning here it's a 45-minute drive both ways. It's terrible.
Sean, it's about more than 45.
It's about an hour, and that's only because I drive minimum 90 miles per hour.
Yeah, you're a maniac when you drive,
So I make it quicker, but standardly it would be like an hour and 15 minutes from Homestead all the way to damn Dry Pink Stadium in like West Palm Beach. So let's not do all that, guys. Like, I mean, if you don't go on a Wednesday game, I get it. 8 o'clock. I mean, look at what time it is now. It's 10:25. We started the show 8 minutes ago, 5 minutes after the game. You're talking about we would have been leaving like at 10:10.
No, we wouldn't have started this till 11:30.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to get on until 11:30, and then all of a sudden we're finishing up at 12:30. Like, it's insane. So if you didn't go to the game, I don't blame you. It would have been fun, but it's we're still celebrating, baby.
And I do understand why some people are like, man, but I bet you if Messi was playing, then more people would have gone for sure. And I don't know if anybody that follows us on Twitter knows that I gave away tickets for today's game. If Messi was playing, I'm not giving those tickets away. I'm selling them to those messiahs. I'm selling them to all those Messi fans that want to do absolutely anything to smell his farts. Like, I will 100% sell those tickets. But because they weren't going to the game, then I'll give it away to any loyal Inter Miami fan that just wants to go ahead and just punish Inter Miami. So, but that's why we were giving away our tickets instead of selling them. But we're not idiots. I'm selling them if I can sell them if I can't go.
One of the regrets that I have of not going is because I had a feeling that Gregory was going to start. And I wanted to be there to be able to feel him get announced.
Yeah.
Because like he's our guy, he's like our bulldog, right?
He's our captain.
Yeah, he's our real captain. So it's like to miss that, I kind of felt sour. But look, we're gonna get a lot of Gregory next year. We're gonna get a full squad next year. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. But of course, I'm looking forward to next year, like everybody else that wears pink.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the game. I'm gonna throw up the starting 11 here, and tell me, what were your thoughts on the starting 11?
So when I looked at the starting 11, and for those of you that are listening, obviously we have Calendar playing goalie. We got Noah Allen on the left back, Yedlin on the right back, and then you got Miller and Aviles filling in the back, center back. So you have Gomez over on the left wing or whatnot, or not even, no, like a midfield. Busquets kind of dropped. Yeah, Busquets dropped a little back. Gregory playing like a right mid, Stefanelli playing like a right wing, Farias playing left wing, and then Campana up at the top. I was super happy to see Stefanelli start, and Gregory, of course. I mean, we already mentioned that, but Stefanelli, I think that he, with the incline that he had right before his injury, I was really sad to see him go down. And now that he's starting to get more minutes, obviously because of lack of certain players, I was happy to see him. So that's one thing that I was really, really happy about. I mean, what are we doing with Jordi Alba on the bench? Come on. What are we doing? Like, is it that big of a difference to bring Jordi Alba? I mean, I have my thoughts on that later as we cover the game, but
he's coming back from injury though.
I guess
like Messi, when Messi's first game back from injury last week against who was it that we played when he came back? Was it Cincinnati? No, it wasn't Cincinnati.
I'm not sure who it was.
I'm blanking right now. I'm blanking. But whoever it was that we played against right before he when he first came back, he no, I'm not stoned.
Yeah, for those of you asking, what is Danny responding to? Augustine is asking, "Are you tired, Danny? Maybe you're stoned." And no, he's not stoned. He's not tired.
Yeah, no. Jordi Alba came back second half, just like Messi did last week after an injury. They got to take these guys, a little more carefully. Like, for example, I saw in the comments that somebody left us last week or last episode that they said that they don't know why I said that 30-year-olds get a little more injured than younger players. I don't understand how that doesn't make any sense. Once you're in your mid-30s, like, father time is undefeated. So
your body is very different. I think that's like scientifically accurate. Yeah, like your body is very different when you're 30 than versus when you're 20. Like
you just got to treat yourself differently. So you just take a little longer to come back. You just jump in the second half instead of starting a full game when you come back from injury, especially if it's a game that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is. You got that loud pack on you, according to Jay Stubbs.
No.
Well, we were supposed to be smoking on that Charlotte pack, but we're not really smoking on no Charlotte pack today, guys. So, and you're right, Mr. Krabs. Unless you're Tom Brady, Father Time is undefeated. Look, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, we've got a couple Captain Obvious comments so far today, and that is Captain Obvious comment like number 3 that you just stated, Danny. Obviously, Father Time is undefeated. Obviously, 30 is different than 20. So get over it. That's basically it. Yes. So first half, right? What did you think about the first half? Because the first half, it was pretty entertaining for me. The first thing that stood out was Aviles is a dog. He's bodying dudes on the same play. I think he really did like a super double tackle, like got really good position to win the ball back.
But you hate on Aviles all the time.
I do. But you know what? Aviles is starting to chip away at my corazón. So like, I'm okay with, and let me tell you, one thing I noticed in the game, which I guess we'll talk about in the second half as well, Aviles, he could fucking pass.
Man.
Pass. He is a fucking passer.
What was the game that he pushed the ball up? I think it was the Philly game, wasn't it? Where they kept kind of doubling Busquets, and Aviles had just pushed it up a little bit, and he had that beautiful lead pass. So I forgot who. I think it was Joseph. That very first goal, it was Joseph.
Was it? I don't remember if it was him or if it was Kristoff that made that pass.
Maybe it was Kristoff, but I thought it was Aviles. Regardless, Aviles is a great at starting a transition play.
I just want to mention this comment real quick because I hate Michael Jordan, okay? Oh, yeah, Mr. Krabs is saying Michael Jordan is undefeated against Father Time too. You're absolutely incorrect, Mr. Krabs, a.k.a. Washington Wizards. You're welcome, okay? You want to talk basketball, you bring up Michael Jordan. You want to talk about Michael Jordan, you're going to have to meet me somewhere, Mr. Krabs. We're going to have a little bit of problems, all right? Michael Jordan doesn't sit well in this house. Get out of here. Michael Jordan.
All right, so the first half, I thought that Inter Miami played much better than Charlotte. It surprised me because I thought Charlotte would come out a lot more aggressive. Miami was pressing high, which I wasn't expecting, and that was leading to a lot of turnover by Charlotte. And we had a lot of opportunities. Yeah. Your boy Diego Gomez, it's like he does one good thing, but he follows it up with one boneheaded thing right after. And it's like
terrible. That kid, what a bad pass.
I don't want to say he's terrible because he does some good things. It's just he can't like connect 2 or 3 good things together. It's like ebbs and flows with him, and it's frustrating to watch at times.
Get out of here, Richard. And it is frustrating to watch because he makes such great plays on defense, but like when he has the ball, like he is a lost puppy on the pitch. He has no idea what to do. Did you see that pass that he tried to drop to Farias? where it was
Yes.
like he
And
didn't even
he
get
had
in near
Campana
his
coming down the
vicinity.
right side. Like I was like, he has
Oh
to.
my
I
god.
thought to myself, who is he gonna leave it off to? Campana on the right or Farias on the left? And he left it off to the defender. Like it was like a 3-on-1 almost. And he's like, here you go. It was, and he had just won the ball, and he was hustling to win that ball. So I wanted to give him credit, but man, he killed it. Ooh, Cleo Lemon.
Well, yeah, and I just want to mention to everybody that's watching or in the comments or listening on whatever platform you use, Mike V, just in case you're not aware, does not like Diego Gomez. Literally everyone over Diego Gomez. We have Cleo Lemon, Diego Gomez.
Chris, you have a question here. They're asking, since you hate Jordan so much, do you rock Jays or LeBrons?
Well, if you want to get technical,
No,
I got a
no, no.
pair
You
of.
know, I'm just gonna answer the question for you. He rocks and
Shut
ones
up.
to this day.
I would. Yes.
And ones is what Chris does. And one cutoffs and one shorts to this day.
I have Adidas sandals. Fuck that guy Jordan. He sucks. Fuck him.
Go ahead, keep going with the first half.
So overrated.
You're insane, sir.
So okay. So proceeding on with the first half, there was a play. I think it was around like the 14th or 13th minute that I wanted to mention, and I think I'm gonna see if I can be able to pull video on this to show it on the next episode. There was like a beautiful play where there was like 7 or 8 passes, like tiki taka style.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, this is sexy." They're starting to get into their bag. And yeah, Anthony is mentioning your dope Nets hat. That is a super dope Nets hat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look at that. Respect over to Ragov wearing the same slippers, Papa. Let's go. Look at this. Ewing over Jordan, baby. Let's go, Mike
All
V.
right.
All right,
All right, let's stay on track, Chris.
Yeah, let
Let's
me
stay on
stay
track.
before
People
we
on
start
audio
talking
are mad confused right
90s
now.
basketball. So after that, you start to see Busquets bring out his inner Karate Kid, gets a yellow card in this 22nd minute, which is like Pozuelo-esque. I mean, what he kicked him on the head with the bottom of the cleats. I mean, not really kicked him.
He like ran into his cleat. Like I get why it's a yellow, but yeah.
Well, yeah, go ahead. You were gonna mention something.
No, I was gonna ask you what you thought about the penalty with Kamal Miller, because that happened soon thereafter. No.
You're talking about with the handball, right?
Yeah, the one that got called back.
Yeah, I mean, look, from what I understand in football is that if your arm or whatever extremity is part of your body, then it doesn't count as a handball. And if you see he has his arm sort of tucked in,
No, it was extended.
right? No, you're
Yeah.
talking about the Kamal Miller sliding tackle.
Yeah, that he got called on a handball.
Yeah, but the handball got called on the tucked arm, not on the arm that he had at the end of his body sliding.
I think it got called on the extended arm, but when they watched the replay, they saw that it hit his chest and then barely grazed or he completely missed his arm. And I think that's why they called it back. But I think they called it on the extended arm. If he got lucky that it hit his chest, because I think if it hits his arm, it's a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, Chad, if you guys are paying attention in terms of with this penalty, if you guys are paying attention to that play, I thought that it was called on the tucked arm against his chest. That's why Kamal Miller was telling the ref it was against my chest, and his arm is a part of the body instead of it being. See, yeah, Jack Card is mentioning in the chat. Also, Michael Neira. Rome is mentioning it got called on the extended arm.
Yeah,
but there's a couple people that are mentioning the chest. So,
well, because it got called because the ref thought that it hit the extended arm.
Yeah.
But when they saw the replay, they saw that it hit the chest. So
I mean, I don't think that it was a handball, and I don't think that it was like him using his arms in order to like, impede the play or like stop the play.
But it didn't hit his arm. If it would have hit that arm, even if he doesn't mean it to block the shot, it still would have been a penalty kick. It's because it hit his chest instead of his arm that it wasn't called. But yeah, the refs are kind of weird today, for sure.
Yeah, the refs, and T98 Car Spare saying that the refs were weird, just like you did, and Mr. Krabs saying that the refs were just bad. And yes, they were brutal. And I feel so bad because later in the game, I think on the first goal, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the first goal that was scored against us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was to me it seemed
The counter.
well, no, it wasn't the counter. It was when the winger faked the fuck out of
Oh,
Yedlin.
that's right. That's right. The counter was the second one. Yes.
Oh my
And he
goodness.
and he got just enough space to cross it. Yeah.
That fake was so perfect. And then he knew he got Yedlin slipping and sliding. And
Mm-hmm.
he said, I'm gonna cross this bad boy right now. And that was a beautiful play. That there's just nothing you can be able to do about that. I can't be able to chime it up to defensive collapses or center backs not doing their job. I mean, I
I
don't know
think
what you
Calendar should
saw,
have
but
had it.
yes, well, if I'm not mistaken, well, he slipped on the second goal. I don't think he slipped on the first, but yeah, he had an opportunity to block it.
Calendar, I've said it all season that I think he's the MVP of this team for the regular season.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought he had a bad game today. I think he could have had both of those.
wasn't his best. Wasn't
I
his
think
best.
I think he could, like, because when I obviously when I put it at Calendar standards, right, from what he showed us all year, I figured he could have had both of those today.
And Tony Axe is mentioning in the comment that it doesn't take much to beat Yedlin these days. I don't know, Tony. I've been seeing that Yedlin he's been on his skates lately. He's been I guess improving on his speed. I mean, defensively, I mean, you guys got to understand something. And I'm not like a soccer player or anything, but just from like a sporting perspective and playing sports, like when you're playing defense, it's very hard to play defense because you're like really you're at a complete disadvantage. You're not the one that's dominating the play. It's the offensive player. So defense, it is one of the hardest positions to play just in sports, period.
One
And
on
now
one,
imagine
especially.
now imagine in soccer where you're literally on an island against the player every play. So, you know, I got to give him credit. He's not mediocre, Michael. Okay. He might be like a little above mediocre, like a 6-ish, 7 maybe. Is 7 too much of an extreme to rank Yedlin?
No, I think 7's about right. I
Yeah.
would probably go 7, 1 to 10. I'd go 7, 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think he's the best in the league, but I don't think he's the worst either. I think people crap on him a lot worse than he should be criticized.
Yeah.
So I'd say 6.5, 7.
I agree with that. After that, we basically had, what was it? At the end of the first half, we had that happen, and then we also had Aviles, which, like I said, he knows how to freaking pass.
Well, before we get into that, I'm sorry to cut you off. Was that was after the Campana where he could have won the ball, right?
I believe so. Yes,
he could have won the ball, and he kind of bodied the guy, and then the ball was between him and the keeper, and he felt the guy kind of grab at his shoulders, and then he dove. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying that it should have been a red card. I think it shouldn't have been a dive by Campana. I think he could have gone and gotten that ball before the keeper and could have converted that into a goal. I think that was soft on his part. I don't like. I get you feel the contact in the box, and your instinct is automatically to drop, but like he's built like a
truck.
Like he could have easily won that ball and got into it. I don't know why he dove. I don't know. That was frustrating. And then everybody kept saying that it was a red card. I disagree. I think he could have just gotten the ball.
Well, I mean, they're saying it's a red card because that foul, which Mike V is mentioning in the comments, that he grabbed Campana by the wrist, essentially impeded them from scoring a goal because the goalie was too far from the ball to be the first one at the ball.
Yeah, but when he was grabbing him by the wrist, he was still technically either right behind, or next to the defender. When I thought the foul happened is when he got in front of the defender, and the defender kind of put his hands on his shoulders a bit. And then that's when Campana's like, oh, and then he just dove.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pointless. He could have gotten through that. Like, that's the one thing that I'll always say about soccer that I can't stand is the diving,
the flopping.
Man. Come on, man. Just keep playing.
He could have crushed it. He could have crushed it.
I think so.
but he didn't, and that led to essentially us getting our first goal towards the end of the second half, literally last seconds of the second half, where, like I said, Aviles made a beautiful cross, and Stefanelli gets it in the back end on the far post. Look at that. Look at that. The terminology I'm using, Danny. You should be proud of me. And getting it off at the far post. Finally, we got our goal. It's 1-1, and we tie it up to go into the locker room and start the second half, which was good because we needed that. We definitely need. I didn't want to walk away with a loss for sure. I mean, it didn't matter, but
no, I know. And I just real quick, Rohan, I'll double down on that. I still think they're trash.
No, Charlotte is shit. That's
They're
one
literally
thing that
they're literally playing for their playoff lives.
They're
And I know
shit.
we're about to get into the second half, but I'll jump ahead anyway. Did you not see what happened at the end of the game? Did you not see the last 10, 15 minutes, how they were wasting time because they wanted the game to end? They're like, we're about to lose this game because they need to get results in both games. They need to either draw, they need to win both, or they need to draw and win. And when they saw Miami and they're like, they're about to score again, they're about to beat us. Instead of going for the win because they're trash, what did they do? They took forever to throw the ball in. They were faking injuries. I saw that they were about to do a throw in, and they showed the coach go like this. Relax.
Yeah, he was telling them to relax.
Yeah,
literally,
relax. Just waste time. Let's just get this point. So don't tell me that they're not trash when they're literally playing for their playoff lives. They got outplayed for the majority of the game, and then they're not playing to win at the end. Miami was going for it. They're like, F it, let's get these 3 points.
Yeah.
These 3 points don't matter, but let's go for them. But Charlotte's like, nah, chill. Don't beat us, please. So, yes, I'll double down. I still think that they're trash.
And I'm going to triple down on that because Charlotte is shit. Watching this game, I literally thought to myself, Charlotte, you guys suck. Like, I don't know. I don't know who it is on Twitter that's always blasting at Charlotte. If it's Esteban Dito or there's another guy. I forgot the username. Always blasting Charlotte. And they deserve it because their team is shit. Like you said, Danny, their coach was literally begging the team to slow the fuck down.
Yeah,
you need these points more than anything, and you're gonna be okay with walking with a tie. If I was a Charlotte fan, I'd be infuriated with this whole organization. Put it all on fire.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump ahead, but I just wanted to put that out there when he said he was reminding me that I had said that at one point. I still think it, like, for the way that they were scared. Like that's what I take. They were scared. They were scared, and Miami had plenty of chances. That Robbie Robinson. Go ahead. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. So, and just before we get into the second half, Eli's asking how I feel about Tata tonight. You know what I feel about Tata tonight? The same thing I felt last game. Do better. Okay. Brother. That's all I'm saying. You finally had Gregory. Congrats. You got Gregory back. You got a better defensive midfielder.
What have we been saying? We do not lose when Jordi Alba plays. I mean, we're just putting it out there. The facts are the facts. He's the only player on Inter Miami squad this season. The only player on the squad for Inter Miami this year that is undefeated. Every single player on this roster has lost the game that they've played, except for Jordi Alba.
That's right. He is the MVP of the big three. Now we're definitely going to have at least 30 people come off of the show right now. Goodbye.
Yeah, go ahead.
So starting with the second half, guys, and we're just playing around. Messi. Okay, guys?
Look, I love Messi.
Yes. Come on. Well, just in case, they might send an army after us. So starting off on the second half, I noticed there was a big fuck up by Allen. And Noah Allen's our boy. We talk about him big time on this show.
But we got to call him out because today was not one of his best days. I see Keith said that he should have had one tonight, but he had a rough game today.
We're going to get to that. But the first thing I want to mention, just starting the second half, he just went too deep into the offensive side. Big fuck up, exposed his side. Everyone on defense had to sort of wave over and overcompensate for that. Mm-hmm. And that's where they scored the goal on us on the cross, where Callender slipped on the block.
And went through his gloves.
Yes. And so you had two problems there. You had Noah Allen that just got caught slipping, everybody else had to overcompensate. So you can't blame any of the center backs, can't blame Yedlin. And Calendar just didn't get enough under his legs to be able to get a clean block on it. Because if he did, that would have never seen the back of the net.
I agree. Like, look, I feel like he had an off game, and a regular Calendar doesn't let either one of those two go in.
Well, and Uday Kumar is mentioning Kamal Miller had an off day. He did
have some bad giveaways.
There was a couple people that had some bad giveaways in the game. I mean, Busquets had a couple.
But that goes back to how bad Charlotte is, because we didn't play a good game and we still should have won.
They're shit. Hold on, because Tony Axe is mentioning the drop off is so huge. Now, if you're talking about like between Alba and Noah Allen, like of course, Captain Obvious, another Captain Obvious comment. Like, how more obvious can you get to say? And Tony, you're right. And there's a completely a huge drop off between Jordi Alba, who's like Hall of Fame left back in our current time, versus Noah Allen, who's just starting to get kind of experience now. Yeah, he's a young player. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get the hate towards Noah Allen. I think that the hate towards Noah Allen is just because Jordi Alba is there, because nobody was hating on Noah Allen when what's his face was playing left back. What's this guy? Yeah, when Franco Negri was playing, nobody was hating on him, and he is a good player. Noah Allen he's pretty good technically. We think
Allen's gonna be awesome.
I think he's gonna be great. And yes, Jay Stubbs, he did have his best Higuain impression this game, which we're gonna get to in just a little bit. There's one more play that I wanted to get to before that Noah play, which was the dummy by Campana that opened it up for Stefanelli to almost get the goal. They tried to make a cross on top of the box over to Campana, and he dummied it, basically showing Joseph how to do the dummy the right way, because Joseph does that every 5 minutes. And that was a great play to me. But then we get over to the play where Noah had the chance, and it was a huge pass given to Noah Allen. Just he had the biggest opportunity of his lifetime offensively, and I think he went a little too simple with the kick. He kind of Bryce Duked it.
Well, yeah, he went low with it. He basically kicked it right into the goalie's leg. But I mean, we've always said that Noah Allen's deficiencies are more offensively, and the way this team plays, they count on their fullbacks to contribute a lot offensively.
Yeah.
And in situations like that, Jordi Alba had a situation like that one-on-one against, I want to say it was against the Union, against Andre Blake, and he nailed it at the back of the net. Noah Allen's not there right now. So he definitely had a rough game. That was a rough chance because we should have converted that. Diego Gomez had a couple chances. Yes. Arias sailed the ball a couple times. We didn't execute, obviously, but I thought that we outplayed them. We had 16 total shots to their 10.
Oh,
we had possession 57% of the time. I thought we outplayed them.
Let me tell you, Car Spare, I think that this is one of the best comments so far in the chat, that he needs to train more with Alba in reference to Noah Allen. And he's going to. And when he does, he's going to be a good player. He's going to be a better player for it. And then on top of that, we have Aviles, who is 14 years old, which I was looking at that kid after the foul that he did, and he's literally bones. And the moment he puts on like 20 pounds of pure muscle, it's a wrap for everybody.
Yeah. No,
this guy's going to be a walking building.
He's going to be good. Yes, we watched. Oh, I watched them. Did you?
I watched it.
I don't know if you saw the highlight going around. The 2 goals, yeah, but there was a play where he had a Peruvian defender on skates. I think he broke him to the floor, and then a second help defender came, and he still somehow got out of it on the touchline. Like, this guy's a magician.
But
it's just crazy though. Like, can you believe that this guy plays for our team? Like, it's wild watching. Like, when I watch his highlights for Argentina, I'm like, man, I can't believe this guy plays for us. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and I want to get to talking
He sat
Messi
him
when
down
we.
twice. Yeah.
Yes, Rohan is. Yeah, you're golden right there. He did sit him down twice, and I want to talk more about Messi when we get over to our Messi segment. But just
All right.
sticking with it. I mean, we got enough Messi. The guys. Don't worry. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk some Messi tonight. All right. But let's keep it up. You know what scared me is that when Jordi Alba, I put down Jordi Alba back, fucking for real, really. I don't understand why Jordi Alba is why he's playing these next two games. We'll get to Messi, but I don't understand why he's playing the next game. I think at this point, like it's really time to like play the young guys, let them get their reps in. We're playing for nothing. If Jordi Alba or Busquets or Messi get injured, like it's not going to be a good look. It is not going to be a good look. So I don't understand why Jordi Alba came on the field, but you know, you got what you got from Jordi Alba, what's expected, just more poise, better, I guess, defense, better push on the offensive side.
I thought
And
Jordi
then
Alba played a good game today.
no, I mean I thought he did, and he didn't play too long. I think it was what, like 30 plus minutes that he played. I think he came on the 60th minute. He played a pretty good game, given that he came off the bench and he contributed pretty well on offense. He was really pissed at Campana for not making a run towards the near post, I guess.
Campana had
So
a bad game. I mean,
yeah,
look, you know what's
Campana.
funny? It's because he had a good game and a bad game all in one. Because he had
Yeah,
his moments, but then he had his moments. If that
yeah.
made any sense.
Well, no, but you're right, and with Campana, it's weird because what he lacked on some moments, he made up in distribution, which brings us
Hmm.
to our second and last goal, which was a fucking beauty that he just floated to Robinson, and all Robinson had to do a little
Oh, I'm so
tippity
sorry.
tap, and
Go
all
ahead.
he
I'm
had to
sorry.
do was just do a little tippy tap, and Robinson uses his legs to make a goal, which Robinson was on one today. He was really trying to get in the bag.
Well, you got to give
I
him credit for being in position to get
Yeah,
to receive that pass. But
yeah.
I mean, even Ariel Lassiter converts that, and Ariel Lassiter doesn't convert anything. So
Well,
that
and it
was a
was a
beautiful
weird,
play by Campana.
and you're right. He was in Lassiter land.
Hmm.
Um, Keith Smith is mentioning it was a weird game for Campana. I want you guys to understand something, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion here. It was a weird game because we played against a shit team. That's why. We played against a shit team. We're playing for nothing. It was just weird all over the place.
I agree with Dennis Lopez. Dennis Lopez said, "I want to see a little more David Ruiz." I'm with you. I'm with you. But that midfield gets really crowded now that Mota's back, Gregory's
Oh, yeah.
back. You still have Arroyo. Remember, David Ruiz got his opportunity because Gregory and Mota were down. But now
Yeah.
they're back, plus Busquets, plus
Yep.
who am I missing? You still have Kremaki when he comes
You
back. Diego
got Diego
Gomez.
Gomez. I mean, our
He's gonna have
midfield
a
is going to
hard time.
be,
He's gonna
yeah.
have a tough time, which I hate because I think that this kid is really good. He has a lot of potential to be really good. He's gonna get minutes off the bench, that's for sure. Especially with that congested schedule we have coming up next year. But he's definitely not gonna see him as much. But I'm with you, Dennis. He said less Mota. I agree. Which I want less Mota also.
I don't want less Mota. So Dennis, you're banned. You're probably a Michael Jordan fan. Get out of here. Okay. And Rohan, has Bex even been to a game in 2 to 3 months? He was actually at the game today.
I don't think he's missed the game since Messi got here.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask, was he at games before then? I don't think so. This year he
Nah,
didn't
not
come to many
often.
games before that. No.
And Jay Stubbs is asking, just a little bit off topic, if we watched the Beckham documentary. I just finished it yesterday.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that at the end of the episode. I wouldn't mind touching on that.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about the second half. Obviously, we finished it on a pretty decent note because Charlotte really doesn't care about being important at all.
They did not want to win. They were
Yeah,
scared
they
of
didn't wanna
losing. They
win.
were playing not to lose rather than to
They're
win.
terrified. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
terrified. Get out of here, Dennis. I'm going to ban you. Okay. Get out.
All right. So before we get on to the next topic, Chris, we were talking about that Messi play from yesterday. So I found it and I wanted to bring it up here so you could check it out just in case you hadn't. I'm gonna take off the audio though, just in
Okay.
case. So check this out.
And so here we have Messi just putting dudes on skates. And
Yeah.
that was amazing. I mean, look at that kind of IQ to be able to see who's approaching,
Look
hear
at
it.
this.
Like he's literally hearing it, guys. And for those of you that are listening, he's got two people behind him. He hears them. He hears these players. He doesn't see them unless he has eyes in the back of his head. Look at that. Oh, here he goes. Boom, bam, and he's gone. That's it. He heard them. Just
yeah, man. That's why he's the GOAT.
yes. I mean, look, you can't doubt that Messi is great, guys. You can't say that we hate Messi. We love Messi. We just don't want to smell his farts. That's all.
All right. So we found out, I think the biggest news of the day, right? Because the game we knew didn't matter. We wanted to win. If we didn't win, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. I think the biggest thing, news that came out today was that Messi said he's playing on Saturday. And the reason I think that it's the biggest news, right? Because people are like, oh, yeah, he wants to stay in shape, wants to get in game shape, whatnot. The reason I think this is a big deal, and the reason why I'm not happy about it, is because they're playing in Charlotte. That's turf. That's turf, baby. Like, why are you playing? Why are we doing this? What's the point of this? Like, why? You're going to China, so you're gonna play some games in a couple weeks anyway. Like, why? Like, what's the point of playing on turf right now? Like, I don't understand why they're doing this.
I don't get it either. And did you just bring up a comment by any chance?
No.
Or I think I was gonna bring up a comment by Mike V. If Farias played, yeah, he was kind of dressed as a invisible man for sure. That guy had a couple opportunities. So I tried to reason myself into wondering why he's gonna play. Is it for money? I mean, Charlotte, how many stands? How many people can sit in the stands? Right,
70 to 80, 70,000, probably 70, 75,000. It's a football stadium.
So
the Panthers play.
Yeah, so it's a big stadium. Maybe they'll have better ticket sales.
That's the game we wanted to go to. Remember, we said we wanted to go to the last game of the season.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I would love to go to that game because I remember you told me Charlotte was a really nice city to go watch the game.
Awesome. Yeah.
I don't understand the angle that they're taking. I think that is foolish for him to play. But then again, here he is in Argentina, balling out of his mind, 2 goals, which it kind of, I don't want to say it upsets me, but it makes me feel a little whack about it because, dude, you were just out for like a bunch of games, and then now you went. I mean, I get it. Yeah, you were injured, but then you go and ball out in Argentina, and then now you want to go play on turf. Like, what are you trying to prove? I mean, do you want to play on turf just so that way people could say he played on turf?
Well, look, he has season. All right, so 89J Stubbs says that he has season tickets to the Panthers, and they fit 75K. Now, I will tell you, I've gone to that stadium, and I love game days for football over there. I don't know how it is for Charlotte FC. I'm assuming it's the same thing, man. You're right there in downtown, get a bite to eat before you walk to the game, walk straight out of the stadium and walk somewhere else to eat. Like, it's awesome. If anybody has a chance to go out there this weekend, I highly recommend it. Charlotte's an awesome city, nice people, and the game day experience is really cool. So that's where me and Chris had talked. Like, that's one of the away games we wanted to go to. It didn't work out because once Messi got there, all of a sudden the tickets went kind of crazy. But that's where we wanted to go.
Well, that means you'll be making a lot of money, J Stubbs. So look forward to that, Bobby. Tony Axe is mentioning he always wants to play. Marasovic is mentioning players want to play. That's it. I mean, that's very simple to put it. I get it.
Right, but at what point do you have to, like, protect your asset? Like, I get it. He wants to play.
Eli mentioned it.
Like, at what point you're like, yeah, but it's not a good idea to play. At some point, you have to be able to say that, right? Like, it's like everybody's saying that. Let's say hypothetically, right? Knock on wood, but let's say hypothetically, he goes down with an Achilles injury or something.
Oh my God!
Like, how crappy is everybody feeling right now? Like, why did he play that pointless game, right? Because that's the reason we don't want him to play. We don't want him to get injured. So if maybe he plays, like, not everybody not all, let's say 28, 30 players that play on Saturday are going to get injured. Obviously, you can play and not get injured. But playing on turf increases the risk of injury. So hypothetically, let's say he goes and he plays and he gets injured. Like, what is everybody saying? Why the hell did you do that? That was stupid. What was the point of that? Like, that's what I'm saying. Don't be a jinx. How about don't play Messi on turf?
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? Since all of you guys are like, oh, he wants to just play. He wants to play soccer. He wants to play football. Like, so then why didn't he just hop off the plane today when he got here from Peru and just put on his cleats and play today?
Nah, chill.
Why didn't he do that?
24 hours.
No, but he always wants to play, though, Danny. Like, he always wants to play. He wants to play. Like, this guy wakes up with a soccer ball next time. Like, I mean, I get it. Yes, he always wants to play.
And Neymar tore an ACL playing on grass. I get it. But there's a reason why you don't play when there's lightning out. What are the chances of lightning striking you? Almost none. But you still don't play in it for that small chance. What I'm saying, if this was to get into the playoffs, F it, let him play.
Yeah.
But what is he playing for? There's nothing to play for on Saturday. So I think it's silly. Like, again, but he probably won't get injured. So hopefully, if Messi gets injured, into Miami equals the New York Jets. Yes. Look, I've seen it way too many times. I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan. I've seen injuries kill my teams when they had the big three. I'm a New York Jets fan. I saw Aaron Rodgers go down first 4 plays with his Achilles on turf. So I understand that you can get injured on grass and on turf, but on turf, the probability is higher. So I just think it's pointless to risk it for no reason.
And I have a question, and it's only because I'm not familiar, right? I'm trying to familiarize myself. So PM's mentioning in the chat, imagine how Argentinians feel about it, that we need our captain
100%. 100%. I don't think that was a happy face, but 100%.
That's like a excited face or whatever.
I don't think that was an excited face either. But could you imagine that happens and all of a sudden they got to qualify? I think they play against Brazil in November. Like, could you imagine that he goes down with this stupid injury? And like for us, the season just ended. So he still has like a couple months to maybe recuperate and come back in the beginning of the next season. But for Argentina, they got big games next month. Like, I think it's just silly to put himself out there in this situation. But,
Well, my understanding is that, and Jamil is mentioning that our argument's stupid, that the decision is ultimately the coach's. But isn't Argentina fucking stacked? Like, I mean, I'm not saying that like Argentina can still win without Messi, or they will never win without Messi. But like Argentina, from what I understand, like they're a fucking all-star team.
And Tony actually said football players need to play periodically. Isn't that why they're playing twice in November? Like, they play on November 5th and November 8th in China. Like, it's not like he's taking 3, 4, 5 months off. He's gonna play the first week of November. Then he's gonna play in the qualifiers with Argentina against Brazil, and I forgot who else. Like, it's not like he's taking a bunch of time off.
Yeah. And Harvey is mentioning also that Argentina could still win without Messi, though.
For sure. Inter Miami can.
I believe that. I mean, and I don't even know too much about the national team for Argentina, but from what I do know is that they got fucking nasty players. Like, they're all good.
Yeah, but remember when we were talking about how obviously Argentina national team is on another level, but remember how we say it's weird that when Messi doesn't play, this team doesn't seem to win. But when Messi comes in as a sub, all but one game, they scored and had a lead when he came onto the pitch. It's like it's a different team, even though he's not on the pitch, but they know his presence is there. He's coming in. Yeah. It's almost like somebody just said that he's the heart of the Argentinian team. It's like it just feels different. The atmosphere in the stadium, everybody on the pitch, like, it's just different when he's there. So I get it. Argentina's good, but you're not as good if you have the chance to have Messi that you have him out there.
But I mean, how strange is that though? Because if in any sport, especially football, that if one of the best players step on the field with you, that's immediately going to improve almost every single player around you.
Look at Robert Taylor, the way all of a sudden he had all that space to go on the left side once Messi showed up.
Yeah, because I mean that shows you that wouldn't happen with Noah Allen, but that's not taking away from Noah Allen. That just means that Jordi Alba's like so damn great. You know,
Well, he dominated that left side once he came. But I'm just saying, like when you have Messi out there, it opens up a lot more, especially out on
of
the wings for
course.
everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, so getting back to the original, the comments that we're talking about in terms of him playing this Saturday, I think it's a fatal disaster for him to play on Saturday. I don't know what it's for. I don't understand why. I, I I don't understand what they're trying to prove. I think it's a terrible decision. I think that the young guys should have been playing today and Saturday because at this point, I think that the best move for Tata is to figure out which one of these younger guys are going to mesh well with the future of the team.
I think
And
he
you're not
knows
going to
by
find
now.
that. You
You
think
don't
he
think he knows
knows?
now? I think he knows.
I
I think
mean,
he knows.
what do you think? What do you think his plans are? I mean, are we
I,
going to
I
wait until the end of the season to talk about that? Should we tease it? Give it a
yeah,
little teaser?
yeah. I mean, we need something to talk about in the offseason, but yeah, I think he knows. He like David Ruiz has started enough games where I think he trusts David Ruiz. Same thing with Ben Krem, Noah Allen. I think all these guys are going to be subs next year. I don't think they're going to start like they did as much as they did this year, but I think they're going to come on as subs next year. And I think he knows who he wants next year.
Yeah. And Jordi Alba doesn't get enough props according to Rockefeller 13. And listen, this show right here, Rockefeller, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to us and everybody else in the chat. Work that thumb out. Boom, bam, Uncle Sam. Okay. We give him enough props. Okay. He's the only one in the big three that we signed that's still undefeated, by the way. Okay.
Let's see. He says he's going to play. Every game that he's coming in as a sub, he's coming in around the 55th minute. What minute does he come in on Saturday?
Oh my goodness. It's got to be like in the 60th minute, I imagine. 55th, 50th minute.
So same as always.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Now,
you think he's going to start?
No. I don't think so. I would hope not. Man, he
What a
might.
disaster.
He might. Now, the one benefit to Messi is that he doesn't run around as much, right? Like his game is, I guess, tailored to I guess best not get injured on turf. But
Yeah.
like when you see something like this, when you see this, if that cleat gets stuck on in that grass when he's making
Ooh,
that cut back to the left, I'm
that's an
telling you,
Achilles.
people are like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm telling you, man. When you start making those cuts on turf, if your cleat gets stuck in that turf, it's horrible. It's horrible.
So T98 car spare is mentioning, I think he's starting. Didn't he say that? And then Rohan is saying, no, he didn't say that.
He said he's playing. He didn't say he's starting. But look, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts. I guess technically, I could see that. I hope he doesn't, but I could see that.
Yeah, I could see him starting. I mean, it's got to be for like monetary purposes, right? Like,
No,
there's no reason to start him. I think
he
that
wants to play.
I mean,
I don't like it.
We're gonna keep doing that. We're gonna keep doing that. He wants to play. Like, yes, if you're an athlete, you want to play the sport that you are getting paid to play, and you want to play. I love playing sports, and I don't get paid to play sports. I love it, right? So
Right.
obviously, someone being great at their sport would want to play. But I mean, that's such a simple argument.
And Jaden the man said he should be wearing special turf footwear. If we're being honest, yeah, everybody wears special turf footwear. It's not those long tacos. It's like really small spikes. I don't even know what to call them.
Like,
I wear them when I play on turf also.
Yeah, they're grass cleats.
Right, and turf and
yeah, turf cleats. Yeah,
but that doesn't help. Like I don't know if you are familiar with New England, and they have this turf, and it's hell for Inter Miami. We've lost Coco Jean there. Who else did we lose? And it's really bad because you see them, and it's like non-contact injuries.
Oh those are the worst.
Like the way that your cleat gets stuck on turf sometimes when you're moving fast, it's brutal. Like there's a reason why in the NFL they're complaining about it. It's a reason why FIFA's saying if any of these big NFL stadiums want to host the World Cup in 2026, you need to go to natural gas before we get there. Like there's a reason for these things. Like we're not just saying this out of our ass. Like there's a reason why people are talking about this, why they don't want these players for the World Cup to play on turf, because it's a disaster. But look, he might play and nothing will happen, and it'll be
Yeah.
all for nothing. I'm just saying, I think it's pointless to take that slight chance. That's all.
And Jay Stubbs is mentioning 75,000 Messi hat trick will be the best commercial for next season. I mean, will it? Like, I mean, do you see him scoring a hat trick with 20, 30 minutes to play in a meaningless game?
Maybe he
I
starts.
mean, maybe.
That'll be the the good punctuation to end the season.
Yeah, I mean, he's right about that. It could be a commercial. It could be a commercial.
PM that's asking, why is your federation not deeming they change it? Well, a couple things. The turf stadiums are usually football stadiums. That's where they play in the NFL, American football. Now, the thing is, I understand that soccer is worldwide, but in the United States, nothing will ever get close to American football. And MLS is nothing compared to American football here. So as long as American football wants to keep their turf, they will keep their turf. Now, FIFA and the World Cup, now that's a different story. They're forcing them to go to natural grass for that tournament, and they're probably going to do it. But as far as the MLS is concerned, they're not changing their turf, not anytime soon.
And Rohan's asking, why can't other sports play on grass? I think it's got a lot to do with the upkeep. And I mean, you can't just get whatever kind of guy to cut the grass. Like
it's not just that. Is a lot of these football stadiums are multi-purpose, and they do a lot of events at these. So it's a lot easier to maintain turf when you're doing so many different events. That's not just sports, it be concerts or whatever it may be, rather than keeping natural grass for all of those. So it's financial, really. The biggest reason I think that they keep it. Yeah. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons that they keep turf.
Yeah, it's laying down the carpet. You know, you're not maintaining it. You don't have a sprinkler system under, right? That's another thing, right? You know, water bill. You got to install pipes and sprinkler systems under an entire stadium. You know, there's a lot of upkeep. Yeah, for sure. It's all about the money, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Okay. Well, Thomas, you don't know a single NFL player. I'm gonna assume you don't live in the United States.
Well, I mean, just look at the first three letters of your name, Thomas. Tom Brady, baby.
Because the thing is, the NFL is in this country. It's far and away the most popular thing, and I am underselling how far and away it is the biggest thing in this country.
Absolutely.
So they kind of run the show here.
Absolutely. Now, I don't have any other topics to touch up on other than the Beckham and the Messi thing.
Okay, we're gonna get into that just real quick. Rohan, a good option would be what they did in Real Madrid. Now, what they did in Real Madrid in the new Santiago Bernabeu, I saw the videos of how they put away that the pitch, the field, whatever you want to call it, and it's wild. But I'm assuming that's crazy expensive. Now, Real Madrid brings in big bucks, worldwide. So I don't know if all the NFL stadiums could do something like that. Chris, if you haven't watched it, you should look it up. Look, Santiago Bernabeu, like the new stadium, and the way they take care of their field. It's really cool. Like the field literally comes apart and like drops down so it can be covered. It's wild. It's wild. It's really cool.
That's nice.
It's really cool.
So
you
like
should
a
check
convertible sort of field.
Something like that. It's really cool. And then like hides under. It's really cool. All right, Chris, go ahead.
And T98 Car Spares mentioning they have way more power, the NFL. The NFL can do it. I think they can. It's just a matter of whether they want to cut into their earnings budget or not. I mean, it's literal money talk.
Well, and I will tell you that the NFL, like the players, you're starting to hear rumblings because they're starting to get annoyed because there's a lot of injuries happening in the NFL with Achilles injuries and things like that. And they're starting to get annoyed because word is starting to get around that FIFA's saying that they won't bring the World Cup to certain stadiums if they don't change them to natural grass. And the NFL players are like, so what you're telling us is that you've had us playing on this forever, and we've been complaining about it, and you haven't wanted to do anything about it. But now the World Cup is coming, and now you're saying you're going to do it for them. So those rumblings are starting to happen also. So there might be a change coming maybe in the future. Maybe they figure something out. But for the time being, it's staying.
The bargaining agreement will commence soon. So,
all right. So the David Beckham documentary. What did you think, Chris?
So as far as TV talk with the David Beckham documentary, I thought it was very fascinating to be able to see his perspective, especially within the in-depth perspective of Beckham and what he had to deal with. And I mean, I always knew that England really cared about their soccer. Europe cares about their soccer, but like they fucking care. Like they are fucking wild. And when I saw that, I was like, oof, this is rough. And I thought that everybody in England knew soccer. And then when I heard that the Spice Girls, a couple of them didn't even know what the teams were, like, what are you
No,
doing?
they knew, they just didn't like it. Like Posh Spice didn't like it.
Yeah,
Victoria.
but like, what are you doing? I feel like everybody is born with like a crest on their body of whatever team that they're close to. I don't know. I thought
That's
it
why
was very
soccer's so
interesting.
popular over there. I think that's why popular thrives so much in like England and in Spain and stuff. Because
Yeah,
you're born into a club wherever you're born. But
yeah,
like here, like if you're born, let's say hypothetically here in Miami, you're born in Miami, like there's like so many options. Like you could be born
yes,
into Miami, but you could also like the Miami Heat, you could like the Miami Dolphins, you could like the Panthers, the Canes. Like
yeah.
there's so many options, but like soccer runs the town over
Oh, it
there, and
runs
so
deep.
you're so it runs deep, right? So I think that that's the advantage that other parts of the world have, is that soccer runs the show everywhere. And here, I mean, NFL obviously runs the show, but like you're very divided. You could be more of a basketball fan, baseball fan, so on and so forth.
And
The
how the,
documentary, huh?
yeah, and well, okay, go ahead. Tell me what you think.
You know what I enjoyed about the documentary? I thought it was very well done, and I enjoyed that they really like dove into not just his professional career, but a bit of his marriage, and I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
But I did appreciate the fact that they kind of shared the story about what was going on with the marriage, what she thought about things. She's like, damn, man, I don't want to leave again. I'm pregnant. You're about to go hang out with Jennifer Lopez and Beyonce while I'm here about to give birth. Like, I thought it was very interesting to see that aspect of his career, really, because it happened during his career. And I thought it was really well done. Um, you know, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It would have gotten a lot more attention if it would have dropped during the pandemic, like the Jordan one, The Last Dance.
or yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, look at how many people watched freaking Tiger King, right? And
Exactly.
Carol
That's why.
Baskins.
Right. Like,
But
could you imagine? Everybody would be talking about the David Beckham documentary. Like, I feel like I haven't heard about it as much outside of the soccer world. But if it would have dropped during the pandemic, everybody would have been talking about it.
well, and I feel like at the end of the whole documentary, I just love how they plugged in the Messi Inter Miami thing. Like, hey, now that you're done here, go ahead and watch the Messi Leagues Cup documentary. Which, I mean, is that on Netflix? Because I haven't watched that, by the way.
Apple TV.
Okay, so that's on Apple. Okay.
Mike V said he went to Queen's Park Rangers game in London, and it's the second division, and it was effing packed. Well, like I said, I think that it's awesome. I always think that the U.S. Open Cup is crap, and I've always said it. Like Orlando fans, like oh, we won it. I don't care. I don't appreciate that cup. But I think the FA Cup is different in England, because I think it's really cool that England has like a billion teams, and they're like this small. Like, so like you could be playing against a third division team, but like
Yeah.
literally it's like your neighbor, like literally your neighbor. So I think
Yeah.
that the FA Cup is really cool because of that. The Open Cup, man, like we're playing against like Sacramento FC. Like, who the hell cares about Sacramento FC? But that's why I appreciate England and their fandom, because they're kind of just born into that.
And J Stubbs just throwing out an allegedly bomb, right?
Allegedly. I don't know.
Allegedly. Allegedly,
Yeah.
J Stubbs is reporting that Beckham was smashing J Lo while his wife was in labor. I mean, that is brutal.
Oh, we're going off on the deep end now.
Yeah, and Mike V, you're absolutely correct. Carol Baskins did kill her husband. Okay,
Allegedly.
no, that's a fact. She did kill her husband.
All right,
Fact.
and then before we sign off, I just want to talk about this last thing. Marasovic said Messi doc on Apple is just a commercial. I agree. I thought that was going to be better. The Beckham documentary was much better than the Messi Apple TV doc.
Is it really? Because
yeah, you well, I don't know if you ever did.
I haven't watched it.
But back not that long ago, like 10, 15 years ago, whenever a team would win a championship, they would drop a DVD, a championship
Yes,
DVD, and
yes,
it would be like
yes.
an hour long, and it would just go over like the season as a whole. I
Yeah,
think that that's what that documentary basically was. It was literally him signing with Inter Miami to like beating Nashville and winning the Leagues Cup. And I think they're gonna keep dropping episodes. Like the next one is
yes.
about like his first game or whatever against in the regular season against the Red Bulls, maybe. But what I watched so far was basically just that. It was like just a recap of the Leagues Cup. Like it shows like a little thing for David Rees, like Remaki. Like it's not a Messi documentary. Like it's just an Inter Miami in that magical month of Leagues Cup, which was okay. It was entertaining. I enjoyed reliving it. Honestly, I'm gonna be very honest. I think that that was the best single month of sports in my life. Like I
Yeah,
really enjoyed it. Like every 3 games, every 3 days, like an elimination game.
yeah.
They kept winning. Like I really and they won it all at the end. So for me personally, I enjoyed reliving that through the documentary. But I wouldn't say that it was as good as the David Beckham one. Nah, at all. Not even
Well,
close.
I have a question then, because it, on this documentary that you watched for Messi and the League's Cup, do you feel like maybe you learned anything differently from the documentary, or was it legitimately like a commercial?
I don't know if it was a commercial, but it was like a recap of the Leagues Cup. That's what I saw it as. It was a recap of the Leagues Cup. It was no. It was a recap of the Leagues Cup, and then like it was like a Michelle Kaufman documentary because Michelle Kaufman shows up like 6 times every episode. Like I was like, "Where's Franco at?"
Yeah,
So
no, Franco's not there. It's a Michelle
no,
Kaufman documentary.
it was so.
But shout out to
No,
her.
no,
She's a
yeah,
OG in
no
the.
shots at her. But
Yeah,
I was like, man, why didn't they like get Franco on there? You got Ian there. You got Alex. Like they didn't waste their time with anybody else. Like
yeah,
according to Apple, Michelle Kaufman is the only OG commentator or sorry reporter that was working
yeah,
with Inter Miami before Messi. So I really do think that they should have shouted out a couple other reporters because again, Michelle Kaufman does a great job. She's the one that dropped the whole. At least she's the one that I first saw reported the Messi thing on Saturday. But man,
yeah.
at least give Franco some love. Give Ian some love. Give Xavier. Give
Xavier,
Xavier
yeah.
some love. Give somebody else some love. But you know, maybe more episodes. We'll see.
They probably just did like we had to pick the person that's been involved the longest in the sport. And Michelle Kaufman's, she's been in the game for quite some time, not just covering Inter Miami, but covering the sport of football here in South Florida. So I think that might have been the decision. And Tank, you're a little late to the party, my friend. And you're not
Yeah.
fashionably late. You're like really late. Yes, the first half was awful.
Yeah.
And you showing up at this time, you get a yellow card. Okay. So you're gonna have to rewind that. Go ahead, Danny. Click that other
Uh,
comment.
when does the MLS season start? It usually starts at the end of February. Now, I really like. I haven't heard anything, and I'm assuming when the season ends, they're gonna redo things. Because I really hope that they fix this schedule to spread it out a bit, especially with
Yeah.
all the competitions we're going to be in. Because the end of the season was brutal. Like it was Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. Like
Yeah.
they got to figure it. Like it's almost you're being punished for doing well in competitions because we did well in the League's Cup. All of a sudden, they added another game to the end of the season. Like I don't know. It usually starts at the end of February. A couple years ago, it used to start at the beginning of March. So yes, and for everybody saying yes, Michelle is definitely an OG. I know she was with the Fusion. We actually saw her at the Miami Fusion reunion a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. So for sure.
And I want to mention something that Tank just said. He said that he stayed at the stadium taking selfies. That's another yellow card, red card. You're out of here. Okay.
What's wrong
But
with him? This?
but this is where he gets a yellow card taken back, where he said that most players I spoke to don't know if they'll be back. So guys, breaking news, according to Tank, aka Bruno, allegedly half the squad is gone.
Oh, brother, don't listen
Okay.
to Chris. All right. Well, at this point, we're gonna start gas bagging.
It's
So
just breaking news. I don't know.
no, that
That's
was
what
not breaking news. We did not break
listen.
any news.
Everybody in the chat just saw it. You guys watching just saw it. And because we gave you breaking news straight from the source's mouth, Tank 72 guys, you gotta put a like on that. Come on. We probably have like 5 likes right now. Come on, do better, be better. Don't be
Uh,
Tata.
what do y'all discuss on the podcast during the off season?
Well, we'll
I
find out.
look. Well, let me tell you something. I'm trying to get Chris into some European soccer, but we'll see how
I'm
that
trying.
goes. Well, look, when the season starts up again, it's a perfect time because we got Real Madrid against Barcelona, El Clásico. We have the Derby, Manchester United against Manchester City. Since you're a front runner, you want to be a Manchester City fan. So there's plenty of good soccer. So maybe it's a good time to get him into European soccer. So we'll see. And then there's all. I mean, Keith, I don't know
Well,
what sports teams you like, but we got a couple other battered fans podcasts going. We got a Heat one starting tomorrow. Actually, we got Marlins, Dolphins, we got a bunch of stuff. So
well,
just
Keith,
keep tuned.
Keith, my question to you is: would you be willing to jump on and hang out with us to talk about football overseas with myself, a guy that doesn't know too much about football? I'm literally learning this on the fly. As long as you're willing to do that, buddy, let's fucking rock and roll. You let me know, and we'll be here.
Yeah, look, we can get some other people on. We know a lot of people that are really into the EPL, so maybe we can get some people on and we can talk some Premier League.
Yes.
But like I said, let's stop gas bagging. We'll keep in touch, and we're gonna talk again after at the post game Saturday. So
So let's just
we'll touch
preview.
on this again Saturday.
Let's just preview the game against Charlotte on Saturday. So what do you think? They fucking
I'm not gonna
suck,
preview that
right?
shit. Look, I feel for them because they should have gone for the win when Messi was out. Because if Messi's playing, they're probably not winning. So I think that they just shot themselves in the foot. And what they should do is take a clip of that video of where the coach is telling him to slow down and basically just play for the draw and play that back for him when they fire him because that is a fireable offense. Playing for the draw when you need to win, especially when you know
Yeah.
Messi's coming on Saturday. So if they lose or they don't, well, they have to win. So if they don't win on Saturday, that coach, that clip right there, that's enough to get you fired, in my opinion.
I agree. That guy needs to be fired and never hired in MLS ever again. You need to go coach the Miami Fusion.
But Farias was a ghost today again. I don't know what happened, man. He was playing so good and then kind of just fell off. Hopefully he gets back going after the off season. All right, predictions for the starting lineup. All right, so let's do that real quick, and then we'll
Ugh. Predictions for starting lineup. Just
well,
show
real
them the
quick.
picture.
Dennis, yes, we're starting about our Heat fans pod tomorrow. I don't know if Chris is gonna join us or not. Chris is a bitch about talking basketball. He says he loves it. But he doesn't
Sure,
want to
I'll
talk about
join
it.
you guys. I'll join you guys. It sounds
But
like fun.
I am a Brooklyn Nets fan, so screw you, Dennis. All right, so predictions for Saturdays lineup.
Predictions first. I mean, there's no way Messi starts. There's no
No,
way.
you think there's no way, really?
I don't think so. I think we're going to essentially see the same starting lineup. God forbid, please do not start Gregory. We're playing on turf. I don't want to see Gregory get injured again. Put like Ruiz or put like
I'm
what
with
are
you. I don't want to see Gregory out there. He just came back from that injury.
yeah,
Don't put him out there on turf. Put Mota out
yeah.
there.
Well, what we might see is, I mean, Taylor's going to come back, right? So Taylor will come back in the fold. So Stefanelli might take a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
You got Gregory that might take a back seat. And hopefully, I don't know, we might see Dixon Arroyo, right? Dixon Arroyo might play. Other than that, I think it's going to be the same starting lineup. Just remove Gregory and Stefanelli and include Taylor and Arroyo. Yeah.
I could see that. Well, I could see Kramaki starting over Gomez.
I could see that too, because Gomez needs to learn how to pass a little better.
But
His
I do think
defensive prowess is good, but
Jordi Alba didn't play in the Atlanta game, which was on turf. So I don't know if he'll play this Saturday. I mean, if Messi's playing, I mean, Jordi Alba has no excuse.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Mota looks sharp. Yeah, Mota always looks sharp when he doesn't have to play defense. It's true. We don't have him to play 8. We have him to play a 6. So Look,
He's gonna get a banger if he plays this Saturday.
yeah, we'll see. Look, it's fun playing on turf because everybody runs faster, the ball rolls faster. It's different,
Yeah.
definitely, but everybody also gets injured quicker. So hopefully, look, knock on wood. To me, it's a win if everybody gets out of there healthy. That's all I want. I don't care
That
if we
is a
win
win.
or lose on the scoreboard. Get out of there healthy, and it's a dub for me. And let's put a bow on the season, and then we'll have an off season. Hopefully, you guys stick around. We have some fun on here. We'll figure out if we're gonna come on once or twice every week. We want to keep talking football, but no Inter Miami. We'll see if we talk some other leagues, or just for fun. Just have fun. So we'll see.
We're winning 4-2. These guys in Charlotte suck big time.
I think we're
I don't
gonna win
respect them.
If Messi starts, I think we win 2-1 if he finishes the game.
2-1.
Yeah.
What are you? That's insane, dude.
Why?
2-1, and that's with Messi off the bench or starting.
Starting.
That's starting.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna dick kick them 4-2. Book it, guys. Put the whole house on it.
Just so you guys know, Chris is a guest on a Charlotte podcast tomorrow. I'm wondering if he's going to talk like this when he's on a Charlotte podcast tomorrow. We're going to send out the link so you guys can join in. I believe they record live also. It's the Charlotte Soccer show. I want to say it's just the name of it. So
yeah.
Let's see how if that's the prediction you give. You're going to tell them that you're going to dick kick them.
We're gonna dick kick you guys. You guys suck. That's what I'm gonna tell them.
Está bien.
Maybe I'll come up with a more fair prediction.
Charlotte Soccer Show. There we go. That's what it's called. Chris is going to be a guest on there tomorrow. All right. So, any final words, Chris?
No, man. I'm ready for this game on Saturday. Let's finish the season strong. We finished the season strong here at home, so now it's time to finish the season strong in Charlotte.
Everybody's predicting an Inter Miami win. I mean, I guess it would be nice to
it would be great
to end the season on a win. So I guess that would be nice. We'll see. All right. Well, if you are listening on audio, thank you for listening all the way to the end. We appreciate you taking the time to join us all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, review, comment, all that other good stuff. And if you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like and subscribe. And as always, everybody that joined in the chat, as always, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Look, Mike V said 7-2. Everybody else is saying a dub. I guess everybody's feeling good tonight. So we'll see. We'll see you guys again on Saturday post game. So until the next one, have a good one.